waiting for it to prepare the live streaming. This is our first time sharing live. We're setting up the meeting. I love the delay of technology. And we are live, comadres. Welcome. I am Ilona Pamplona, the Chief Vision and Community Officer at Las Comadres Club, and I'm accompanied by the modern mystic, Marlene, for today's special Astro report. Marlene, I'd love for you to introduce today's session.
Hi, hello, comadres. Thank you, Ilona. Thank you so much for having me here, and thank you, comadres, for being here and supporting us live. And for the comadres who are watching in the replay, this just encourages you more that if you haven't been live on a moon report or something with us on Zoom, this is an up level. And how much cooler is this? So this just hopefully encourages you to jump on and be part of the group energy. So we have an Astro update, Ilona and I, for this community. There is a lot going on in the Astros, and we wanted to jump in and speak a little bit around a very rare conjunction that is happening at the moment. That is the Uranus-Mars North Node conjunction happening at 18 degrees of Taurus. It's been happening for the last few days, meaning that it's been exact, meaning, these two planets, Uranus and, the North Node, which is one of the nodes of the moon, have come together for a conversation. When we say conjunction, it's coming together for a conversation where these planets touch and they converse and they support each other on what it is that they want to move forward. What are the themes that are helping us move forward? So Ilona and I have been having some juicy conversations about this, and we thought about bringing it to the platform because if we are feeling the energy of this conjunction, we know that all of you are too. And we want to begin by saying, I know I speak for Ilona as much as myself, but we acknowledge that we see you and that you are not alone. You are not alone in this journey. Especially if you're a comadre, you know that you are not alone in this journey. But if you're not, you're part of the collective. We are really going through this together. And, in a little bit, well, actually, Ilona, let's start talking about this whenever you want. But my personal impression of everything that has been going on is, let's break it down into the players who are involved, right? We have the North Node, which is pointing towards our collective destiny. We have Mars, the god of action, the god of war, and that energy inside us that moves us and drives us into action. And we have Uranus, the father of the heavens. Some astrologers call it the Godhead. And Uranus is a vibration that is beyond us, but means sudden change, has the energy of electricity and lightning, and also has the speed.
Yeah. And I just like to intersect like from an astrology coaching. So because I bring astrology from a coaching perspective, when we look at them as coaching points, the North Node is the thing that we're resisting that gets us to the growth. So it's like the thing that it's like the stretch where we get to go a little bit beyond, but we don't really want to go there. We're being asked to stretch. So to do, as Marlene said, which is to go to the destiny. So the North Node is the destiny, but it's the thing that I don't want to go there. I don't want to do that. That's like a lot of work. Mars is the motivation. Mars is your astrological hype man or hype woman, depending on what sign or how you see it, right? So it's going, let's go, let's do this. It's where we get lit up. And Uranus is the wild card. It's also, in my opinion, where we tend to like let the freak flag fly, where we get to do things a little differently because of that wild card aspect. So those are kind of like the coaching points on what are you avoiding, what is motivating you, and what can you not expect? Like, what is the unexpected potential in this transit?
Yeah, it's one of the biggest themes. It's that unexpected sudden change. And I've I've listened to other astrologers refer to this energy as almost eclipse energy, because the central theme is that change, and it comes fast, and it's kind of here to stay, but it gets to play out for the next 5 months of the year. And I think that was one of the biggest reasons why you and I decided to jump on and do a special report about this, because this energy is going to be playing out for a while. And with Mars here in this conjunction floating around, it may be giving us an urgency to act, and act now. But Taurus is pretty much about, hey, why don't you check the steps, and we'll move intentional and slow. And we'll make sure that whatever we're creating, whatever we're manifesting, what we're building is solid and it's stable.
Yeah.
Right? So where are we looking for that sense of security in our personal lives, right? Do we have that accessible to us internally? And how are we creating that in our external world? Or do we want to? Where do we want to land when it comes to that stability and that balance?
Yeah. And let's just rewind a little bit, because we didn't talk about the fact that all of those planets are wearing the outfit. Because I always say that the planets wear the outfit of their sign they're in. So all of these planets are wearing the outfit of Taurus, the bull, the stable. That's why when Marlene was saying security, safe, like, because Taurus represents our security, our financial security, our all types of security that we can create in this experience. So we have that opportunity to create financial security, personal security, material security, emotional, like, and of course we can, for those that are staying offline, when we go back into this comadre space, we can talk about what house it's falling, to see what specific area of life it's going to highlight for you specifically. But security and slowing things down is such a key factor of looking at Taurus.
Absolutely. And patience being one of the biggest themes that I think everyone is working with. Because with this type of energy, Mars is like, come on, let's do it. Let's go yesterday. And Taurus is like, no, tomorrow, So you're in the middle, and we may be feeling a little bit anxious. We may be feeling a little bit nervous. We may be feeling these things in our body, and it's important to remember. That's why I love astrology, because it reminds us, yeah, we're going through personal stuff. Absolutely. But it's happening outside of us as well. We're not alone. And it's playing out, like you said, which house is it in? It's playing out in different ways. But there is a running theme that is happening here, and it has to do with change and how we handle change.
And pacing ourselves in the change. Like, I think of, even though Taurus is the bull, I always think of it as the tortoise from the tortoise and the hare. So like Taurus is not like going to be Aries that's doing sprints back and forth. Taurus is going to do slow and steady to win the race. It's going to take step by step, one step every day, instead of like, what do I have to do right now? It's going to be like, okay, what can I do? What's one small thing that I can do in this second to move the needle a little bit forward? Whereas Aries is like, let's take that needle all the way to the other side right now. And so that is a really important, like there. And so you've got the electricity of Uranus going boom, but Taurus going, let's channel that and take little steps with that energy you've just currented through us.
And Mars will be moving out of this conjunction. So maybe that urgency to act that some of us have been struggling with, it's okay to plan instead. If you need to act in a certain way, take one small step. All of this is important for the culmination of where that destiny is. What is that big North Node lesson that we're learning as a collective? Because it promises to leave us in a more steady, grounded place as a collective. All the Taurian things where our basic needs are taken care of, absolutely. but then we get to enjoy the pleasures of what we desire as well. It is not only survival mode, it is indulging in the things that you find valuable. So, what is valuable in your life? Spend your time acting on, dreaming about that, seeing how you could manifest that. What steps do you have to put in place to manifest your most desired dreams? Because this is what the North Node is promising us if we can go through these chaotic changes. With Uranus, there's chaos. Why? Because it is beyond our capacity to understand in the human condition. It's weird. It's unconventional. It's unique. It feels nervous sometimes because we don't quite understand what we're feeling. We can't really put a finger on it, but we know that we're getting deep insights, flash insights, seeing things all of the sudden.
Yeah.
And that could be taxing on the body. It really can. So remember, self-care, comadres. And anyone who's watching, for me, it's like self-care is like the enlightening, like 101 medicine. It's like through patience, you will see clearly.
Yeah. Yeah. I found myself in a position where I had a terrible migraine yesterday. And the whole time I was like, I've got to get through this. I've got to push so that I can do this work. And then I had a moment, I'm like, it's a Taurus conjunction. I'm just going to sleep. And I slept it off. And today I feel so much better. And you know what? I would even say like Taurus, any like amplification of Taurus energy is the sleep it off. Like go to sleep on it before you take an action. You don't have to do everything right now.
Start with a nap. One of my mentors would say that. Start with a nap. Oh, and she was a Taurus too. And she would always say, start with a nap. And I never forgot that because sometimes that's exactly what you need. Give it room.
Yeah.
Give it space.
So not only do we have this conjunction with Taurus being slow, take a nap, but we have so many planets in retrograde to begin with. So it's, the theme that I've been hearing from people in the past week is like the sense of like, if I don't do something now, I feel like I'm going to miss on something, or I'm going to miss an opportunity, or something's going to go wrong. But comadres, that's exactly, Taurus is asking, all these planets are saying, slow it down, because if you slow it down, we'll get you on the right timeline.
Slowing it down is magic, because it opens up space for something new to grow. It gives your energy room to manifest. If I don't know what I'm doing, slow down. If I want to get something done really quick, slow down. Right? So, yesterday you and I were having a really cool conversation about how you've been coaching people through this energy. And I would really love for you to share these questions with the comadres so that they can reflect on this, because they were awesome.
Thank you. Awesome. Yeah. So I try to break it down into coaching questions so that when we're in the breakdown of the transit, we get to say, how can I manage myself through it? And so I have 3 questions, which I'll say twice. So you can, if you're watching live, you can come back and write it down. For the comadres who are in Mighty Networks with us, we will say on and see if you have questions or want to answer the questions. But the first question that came up for me is, what am I avoiding when it comes to security? And that's from the North Node perspective, right? Because the North Node, like I said, it's our destiny, but it's also the thing that we avoid. It's the thing that we're keeping from accessing our destiny. So like, for example, are you avoiding dumping that client that isn't aligned because you're afraid that you won't have money, when when you release that client who's not aligned, you can make space for 5 more clients that will bring you much more security financially and personally and emotionally, right? But you're avoiding it because you think that that's safe. Like Taurus, when it's confused, this avoidance of the North Node is going to hold on to things, don't serve it. Right? So that's the first question. The second question is, where can I create unexpected abundance? Can I tell you, I have 3 people that in the past week are like, I'm worried about money. I'm worried about money. I'm worried about money. And in just having a conversation about where you can create unexpected money, they created unexpected abundance. My sister, she works in the bridal industry, and she has like certain clients, but she was kind of like looking to create a money goal, and she wasn't hitting the goal. And, when I'm like, where can you create unexpected money today, out of nowhere, after declaring and asking herself the question this morning, she got a client who paid for her highest package. So we have those opportunities when we don't look at where we can unexpectedly, or we don't make space for the unexpected abundance, then we're not creating that opportunity. And the third question is, I'm trying to see, because I feel like I hate that I can't say all the questions. How can pacing myself help me reach my goal? How can pacing myself help me reach my goal? This is what we were talking about before, where it's not about running. Like if you've got like a personal goal of making, double what you're making right now in your business, maybe it's not about the sprints to do it in the next 3 days. What if you spread it over a month? Make it a month. If it is a month goal, why are you trying to sprint yourself over a few days when you have the month to hold yourself accountable to create miracles? Why are you trying to condense in a small amount? Now, like, don't get it twisted. If like you can create that in 3 days, create it, but don't hold yourself, or don't judge yourself, or keep yourself lower at a lower opportunity because you're trying to push the goal date instead of allowing yourself for the monthly goal to happen within the month. And those were the 3 questions based on the 3 planets.
Those are amazing. And just by listening to you right now, like so much opened up, even in my personal life, thinking about just off the top, these 3 goals. And what I really love about it is like, yeah, you can maybe create it in 2 weeks, right? If you rush through it, but you're going to make less mistakes. You're going to work easier. And you're probably going to see more of the details that you might have missed if you take your time, if you listen to the energy of Taurus and say, well, maybe I need to slow down here. Maybe I need to pace myself. Let's go back and review what I'm missing, because there are a lot of these planets in retrograde, like Ilona was saying. And when it's about retrogrades, when there's a lot of that energy, it's good to go back and review. It's good to go back and check. It's good to go back and see if it's in alignment with your emotional fulfillment. Are you rushing through because you are trying to, make money quickly? There's some sort of desperate thought that is kind of nagging at you. Is there fear involved? These questions, what I love is that it helps you reflect on that. It's like, oh, there's that fear. Maybe I'm acting from that fear, right? Let me just back it up a second. So when we were talking about these questions, Ilona suggested, why don't you make some affirmations that can back up these questions? So I have 2 affirmations for you, and we're going to share these with you so that you can have them accessible. Ilona will talk about this a little bit more. But the first affirmation that came to me was, patience grants me space for clear insight. Patience grants me space for clear insight. One thing that Uranus promises us is insights, ideas, almost as if they fall from the sky. But we don't have to act on them immediately. As I mentioned before, this energy is going to be with us for the next 5 months. So we can take little steps that moves us towards more clear insight as to what the outcome of whatever it is that you're creating is going to be. Sometimes, most of the time, we don't have the full picture right away, you know? And if we can find that dance of letting go and putting our foot in the gas and letting go and putting our foot in the gas, if we can find that rhythm and that ebb and flow within us, we could really allow more of what the outcome is going to look like. It's going to be better than you probably ever imagined. So patience, comadres. Thank you for those who put it in the chat here in the live component. And then the next affirmation that I came up with is, change is easy and graceful on my mind, body, and spirit. Change is easy and graceful on my mind, body, and spirit. It doesn't have to be hard. And this has many layers. If we've been choosing it hard for a long time, we are not going to just shift that with one affirmation. The affirmation can start bringing you in that energetic vibration, but there's still work to be done about how you handle change and how it is that it affects your mind, your body, and your spirit. So it's okay if it gets a little chaotic and you're saying your affirmation. Just know that what you put in now, and this is very Taurus, what you put in now, what you put your energy into right now is what your reality is going to be in the future. Do I have a timeline for that? It's different for everyone. But if you look back a year from now and you think about the things that you wanted to accomplish a year ago, and you see yourself where you are now, just take a moment and bring that all up to the surface. I'm sure there is at least one thing that you can honor yourself for manifesting. And I want each and every one of you to take a material representation of anything that is around you, or maybe after this talk, and put it on your altar, or put it in your meditation space, or put it in your space where you put all your pictures and you look at every day. Put it on your screen, I don't know, but something that reminds you that I can do it, I can manifest, and I can create my own reality because I did this. Okay? And I'm telling you, if you jump on this wave right now, and you really believe all the things we've been talking about for the last 27 minutes, I promise you that the next time we meet, the next time we talk about this, it will be different, and it will have unraveled into something that you probably couldn't have even imagined. So that's what I want to leave you with. Ilona, leave us with some wrap-up words.
I think I want to wrap us up with the Comadres word of the month, which is possibility. Jamie and I will be going deeper tomorrow, live on YouTube and in Mighty through the Zoom link that you can find in Mighty Networks. But possibilities are available to us even in the darkest night of the soul. And, sometimes it's not until these conjunctions, these experiences, these personal and emotional storms happen that we can't see what's possible, but possibility still exists in those moments. And so my invitation is that you use these questions to guide you through the dark moments, and you use the affirmation that Marlene has gifted us as the access to the possibility, to what's possible just for now, just in this transit, because this too will pass. Thank you, comadres.
Yeah, so well. Thank you, Ilona. Thank you for your wisdom, your presence. It's always so much fun to do these with you.
Yes, thank you, comadre. Thank you, Marlene, for inspiring this special Astro report. Will your a little birdie told me that the affirmations will be available on Pinterest or something?
Yes, I'm gonna. Do I share the link here in the chat?
Sure.
Okay, I'm gonna share this link in the chat, and then maybe we can also provide these links on YouTube.
Yeah.
And if
We'll add
anyone
them in the
wants to check
description.
them out, yeah. And I know for anyone that's new to this channel, welcome, 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 welcome to this community. Find somewhere to find a link to our Comadres website if you are looking for a group of self-identifying women who want to grow professionally, spiritually, as people, as human beings, and just kind of be really cool to each other all the time and really support each other all the time. It's a wonderful place to be, and we welcome you.
We do. You are so welcome. We are so happy to be able to provide the service for you. We're going to stop the live stream in just a little bit. Comadres, you can hang on the Zoom and we will answer your questions. But this is the beginning of many more live streams on YouTube from Las Comadres Club with wonderful standout members like Marlene, the Modern Mystic. We'll have all the links in the comment section once we are complete here. And if you have any questions, you'll know how to find us with all that information we'll be providing. Thank you, comadre.